Fear of missing out, or FOMO, is a very interesting psychological phenomena that affects pretty much everyone.
No mo FOMO, dog. No mo FOMO. No mo.
Now, the fear of missing out at some point is something we've all experienced in the past. But what most people don't realize is that it originates from a deeply ingrained psychological response. And you can actually use the very same response to dominate your ex's thoughts and drive them wild with desire. Hey guys, I'm Brad Browning, of course, your favorite breakup expert here on YouTube. And if you're watching one of my videos for the first time, then hello, thanks for tuning in. And I am the author of the best-selling X Factor program, which teaches readers how to win back their ex and rebuild a lasting relationship. If you haven't already, folks, please go ahead and click that subscribe button to subscribe to my channel here on YouTube, and click that little bell icon right beside the subscribe button as well, and that way you'll be notified when I release my next breakup advice video. Now, as a breakup coach with over 10 years of experience, I feel it's important to not only share these techniques with you, but also to just explain a little bit of the psychology that makes them so effective. Don't worry though, I'm not going to get too scientific, and I'll keep it brief. But basically, I'm devoting this video to the psychology of FOMO, and I will be sharing 7 strategies to use this FOMO response that I've just talked about in order to drive your ex back into your arms. Oh, and quickly, before we begin and get into it, I do want to thank one of my subscribers, Al, for the idea to make a video on this topic in the first place. So thanks for the great idea, Al. So let's get into it. What really is going on when FOMO starts to take the wheel and starts driving our thoughts and our desires? Now, the actual FOMO acronym is a pretty new term, but fear of missing out itself has actually been around for a very, very long time. And this is something that was born out of an evolutionary need to survive within a tribe. So, back when missing out was often a matter of life and death. Now, at this point, I know what you're thinking. We're not cavemen, Brad. And you are right, of course. Most of us are not cavemen anyway. But because of the role that FOMO has played in our evolution generally, it does affect us on a very deep or a very subconscious level. And it's this type of involuntary emotional response that tends to wield a great deal of influence over our thoughts and our desires, which of course is why generating a little bit of FOMO in your ex can go a really long way. Now, there's 2 facts that you need to know about in order to understand why FOMO can be so psychologically powerful. And fact number 1 is that humans tend to overvalue what they no longer have. Studies on this are extensive and leave little doubt that we all have a tendency to place higher value on something that we've lost or missed out on than on something we've gained or actually been part of. In fact number 2, losses increase our arousal more than gains. In fact, the research suggests that losses are twice as impactful on people psychologically as gains are. Now, we already know that emotional arousal is one of the best ways to incentivize action, which is exactly what you want to achieve with your ex, right? So, just take a moment and ask yourself, do I want to work overtime trying to win back my ex, or simply use a little bit of psychology to make them chase me? So, now that you guys know what it is and how it works, here's my 7 tips on using FOMO to drive that elusive ex back into your arms. Tip number 1, use the 30-day no contact rule that I've discussed in detail in many of my previous videos here on YouTube. And I know you guys don't want to hear more about no contact, but as the old saying goes, absence makes the FOMO grow, or is it the heart grow fonder? Either way, the fact is that initiating a period of no contact with your ex is one of the best ways to pique their curiosity about what you've been up to and what they may be missing out on. And as hard as implementing this 30-day no contact strategy might actually be for you, the time apart will create a healthy separation that almost always increases your chances of success when you do start talking to your ex again. And tip number 2 is to limit initial communication with your ex to text messages and social media only. Now, it's a lot less invasive, and this gives you more time to plan what you want to say. And of course, plus in our modern tech-driven world, most people have become hypersensitized to fear missing out on pretty much everything. And this means that text message and especially social media posts are the ideal mediums for maximum FOMO generation. So stop and think carefully about each message before you hit send. Ask yourself if what you're saying will achieve the desired, FOMO effect, or whether it might make it a little too obvious that you've been letting, your own fear of missing them run wild in your own mind. Okay, tip number 3 is to stop and think carefully about each message before you hit send. Ask yourself if what you're saying in the message will actually achieve the desired, FOMO effect in your ex, or whether it might make it a little too obvious that you've been letting your own fear of missing them run wild. So don't start reestablishing the connection with your ex, by suddenly sending them 50 messages a day. Remember that the tortoise always beats the hare in the long run, so be patient and don't try to rush things. At first, just try using one simple, fun text message to break the ice when no contact is over. Now, if you are not sure what that kind of message would look like, I've included a ton of examples of attraction-building messages that are ideal for this type of situation, and you can learn more about them right on the video on my website, breakupbrad.com. All right, and let's move on to tip number 4, which is to post pictures that create FOMO. And I don't mean just, selfies here. It could be a picture of you at a dinner party or on a weekend away with your friends. And you don't even need to necessarily, be specific about who you were with or what you were doing. The point here is really just to let them see the fun that they're missing out on. And that's going to remind your ex that you're still a fun, interesting person that they shared a lot of happy memories with in the past. And in fact, it's definitely possible that if you do this properly, they'll even leave a comment on your post, saying, where's my invite? Or, I better be invited to the next time you do that. And these are clear signs that you've created some FOMO in your ex's mind. And of course, that is exactly what you want in order to win them back. And number 5, remember that we are attracted to people of equal or higher status than ourselves. Now, this is a big one, guys. There is literally a mechanism in your brain that tracks your perceived social status subconsciously and delivers a hit of serotonin when you see that you've sort of risen in relation to those around you. Now, this means that if you can effectively generate some FOMO in your ex, they're going to subconsciously crave that serotonin hit, which makes people feel good, and they're going to start behaving a bit like an addict who needs the satisfaction of getting you back in their life. Now, while there's many ways to achieve this, a good place to start is working just on being the best possible version of yourself. We're basically all attracted to charismatic people who tend to look good and feel good about themselves, and as a result, act with a confidence and a charisma that makes those around them crave their attention and their approval. So by making an effort to look and feel your best, that confidence is going to shine through in your social media posts, your conversations with your ex. And of course, that in turn is going to make you appear more attractive to your ex, and it's going to remind them of why they were attracted to you in the first place when you first started dating. Now, I know, guys, this does sound a little bit far-fetched, a little bit abstract, but I promise this stuff really does work like magic, and your ex is going to be powerless to resist these kinds of feelings. All right, and let's move on to one that's possibly the most important of these 7 tips, number 6, which is to avoid overly emotional messages or emotional posts on social media. Basically, this just means, no sad or crying emojis, no I miss you messages, or, posting sad lyrics on your Facebook page. Really, the goal is just to show your ex that you're a confident person, you're leading a fun and interesting life, and you're just generally thriving since the breakup, which of course is the opposite of what your ex is expecting. Learn to recognize the FOMO response in yourself to avoid the sorts of overly emotional posts and messages that make you seem sad, needy, or desperate. And by the way, this is actually really good practice, even when you're not trying to get your ex back, because being positive and sharing fun, interesting things on social media is always going to make you look better than if you're sharing your heartache or depression or sort of complaints for the world to see. All right, number 7, and yes, I know what you're thinking. The 6 tips that I've just mentioned, a lot of them seem, easier said than done. And sure, sometimes we do all need a helping hand from an expert from time to time, which is probably, what brought you here to this video in the first place. Which, like I said, does lead me to my final tip here, number 7, which is to sign up for my X Factor program at my website, breakupbrad.com/buy. Now, of course, guys, my 60-day money-back guarantee means that you have absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. So, hit up breakupbrad.com/buy right now and grab your copy to get started today. So, folks, as I said at the beginning of this video, there's many studies on our tendency to overvalue what we think we've lost. And there's also plenty of research suggesting that no one is immune to the FOMO syndrome or the fear of missing out. But of course, the question is, are you going to let this fear control you? Or are you going to use it to help rekindle the feelings and desires between you and that special person that you want back in your life? Now, if you do try these tips out yourself, do let me know how they go in the comments below or ask your questions down there and I'll get back to you. And thank you, beautiful people of YouTube, for tuning in to this latest video. Now it's time for you to get out there and start using FOMO to get a second chance with your ex. I wish you the best of luck, and I'll see you in the next video.